yokieB.com. Welcome to my channel where I share crochet and knitting patterns and tutorials, as well as finished projects and lots of fun vibrant things. My sweet and talented friend Marquita requested this video, and I'm so glad she did because it not only helped me get in gear and swap out my warm weather clothes for my cold weather clothes, but also it helped me go through some things and remember what I had, because sometimes you just forget and then you're like, oh yeah, I really like that beanie, or I really like that scarf. So thank you, Marquita, for requesting this video. I'm excited to dive into it. Make sure you go check out Marquita's video where she shares all of her fall makes. She has so many amazing ones, and y'all, she has such a talent for just freestyle crochet, just seeing something and recreating it, just making it her own. I just love that unique freestyle spirit, and she is so good at it. So make sure you go check out her video. I'll link it down below and also put it up here. But let's go ahead and dive into all of my, or almost all of my, fall and winter makes. As I mentioned, I was so glad that my cat, there's my cat. As I mentioned before, I'm so glad that Marquita requested to see my fall and winter makes, because I seriously procrastinated so long with swapping out my summer stuff for my winter stuff this year. I don't know why. Y'all, winter here starts like mid-October, late October. It's already snowing by then, and just now, like a couple weeks ago, I got everything swapped out before we left for California for Thanksgiving. But I'm so glad I did, and thank you, Marquita, for getting me in gear, because y'all, I really needed to. I have stuff everywhere, and honestly, I still can't find at least one of my pieces. So I'm hoping that it's somewhere, because I do love that sweater, but I'll just have to show you a picture of it because I have no idea where it is. So let's go ahead and start with the ones I'm wearing. This is my Bright Fade beanie. It's a free pattern on my blog. It's also a free PDF download if you want to download that. I also have a video tutorial step by step through the whole process, but I have made so many of these beanies. I can't remember if I made it in like 2018 or 2017, but this is one of my favorite beanies. It's just such an easy like throw on. You can make it a solid color, you can make it 3 colors. I originally made it in 3 colors. These were a couple of the original beanies that I made. I really love this like neon, all the combinations that you can come up with. The possibilities are endless, and it's just such an easy like throw on beanie. It's a great gift. It works up pretty quickly. I mean, this is made in a worsted weight yarn. I originally used scraps from Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn, and that works great. I've washed these, I've dried these, but of course you could use any yarn that you wanted to that matched the gauge, but I just really love it. I love the squishy double brim. So it's one of my favorite beanies, and I know it's so simple, but I just wear it all the time. And then next is my Simone cardigan. This is actually the first knit cardigan that I ever made. I love this cardigan so much. If you've got some of my previous videos, I've talked about how I've crocheted for over probably 25 years, and it took me so long to try a garment. It took me so long to take any risks with it, and I don't know why, y'all. Seriously, I don't know why, but now I'm like determined to try everything. So when I finally learned to knit, my mom tried to teach me so many times, but it finally stuck because I was determined to make it stick, and I just didn't want to wait. I wanted to knit a sweater so badly. That was my goal when I started knitting, that I really wanted to knit a sweater, and so I didn't want to wait a long time. I think it was a couple months after learning how to knit that I got this kit from We Are Knitters. It was a Valentine's gift for my husband, and y'all, I love this sweater. Now, I did make it. It's a funny story, but I made the sweater one time. I finished it, I blocked it, all the things, but it just didn't fit the way I wanted it to. And I'm like, I'm not going to spend this much money on a kit and have this be my first sweater and me not be happy with it. And I think that kind of started my, I wouldn't say love for frogging, but my appreciation for frogging, because now, y'all, I will frog it. Like, if I don't like it, if it doesn't fit right, I am not going to waste that yarn. I'm going to frog it, make it into something else. I am a huge supporter of frogging. I know sometimes it can be annoying and frustrating, but honestly, y'all, I just try to keep the viewpoint of, you know, practice, and that if in the end you have a piece that you will wear all the time as opposed to something you will never wear, then it is worth it. 100% it is worth it. So I frogged this whole thing. It was kind of crazy, but I frogged this whole thing and decided I wanted to add some length to the sleeves, and also I think I added some length to, I can't remember. I actually do have a blog post for this. I don't have a video for it. That's what it was. It was before my YouTube channel, but I did have a blog post about it. I talk about all the changes that I made in the blog post because the first one sat kind of far back on my shoulders, and so I wanted it to sit farther forward on my shoulders, and also the sleeves I wanted to be like super long and cozy. So I will link the blog post down below if you want to check it out. I think this is a great pattern for beginners, honestly, y'all. If you are new to knitting and have never made a garment but really want to, do it. Honestly, just pick a pattern that is beginner friendly, that is easy. Yes, there are things when you get into, you know, like shoulder shaping and short rows and all that stuff that's a little more complicated, but when it comes to just the basic panels of a sweater and seaming it together, it is really not that difficult. I did learn with this sweater how to pick up stitches, which is super easy, and then I think there are some decreases as well, possibly some increases, I can't remember, but there's really not a lot of extra things to learn in this. If you are waiting to make a sweater, I just say go for it, because honestly you'll be pleasantly surprised. It is a lot easier than you think. Okay, y'all, so I figured we would just go through all of these. I did add some to these because I had to get them from like all over the place. I seriously have stuff everywhere. I have got to get myself organized. Since we have to pack up our summer stuff and winter stuff, it's just been kind of a mess to try to keep it all organized. So first up, I have this recent beanie that I made. This is a brioche beanie. And y'all, I really want to make a pattern for this or a tutorial for this that I can put here on YouTube. Y'all, this is hilarious, but I ordered some more drops yarn for a blanket. You guys may have seen my video where I mentioned drops yarn. Well, they had a sale, and so I wanted to purchase some of the brushed alpaca silk, and then I also wanted to get some yarn for the blanket. I mentioned that in my brioche video as well. And I had originally started that brioche beanie like you saw in the video, but it was just looking too bulky for a beanie. I love the way that the stitches looked, but it's just too bulky because, you know, with brioche you've got like a double-sided fabric, which is so cool, but it can definitely end up looking super bulky, and so it's just too big and bulky for a beanie. But y'all, I purchased this yarn. It's the Charisma wool from Drops Yarn, and for some reason I thought that it was a bulky yarn. I don't know why. I just didn't even look. I don't know if the picture looked bulky. I don't know what my deal was. So I ordered it for the blanket that I'm planning on making, and y'all, it was not at all. It's like a worsted weight. I figured, well, maybe let's go ahead and try to make a beanie out of it. I ended up using several colors. I wanted it to kind of be an ombre effect, but it really kind of has a line here. I don't know if you can see it, and so I'm not a huge fan of the line. I wanted it to be more transitional. So I decided, I think I'm just going to use the two colors and maybe not even the brushed alpaca silk with it, but I did hold one strand of the brushed alpaca silk with it, which I do like that fuzzy texture on it and kind of the halo that it gives. But I think for the next one and the one for the tutorial that I do, I will just use the two colors. So I was excited with how it turned out, and I'm excited to bring this tutorial to y'all, so stay tuned for that. Let's just go through this thing. I'll try not to take too long on each item because I definitely could be here forever, but y'all may remember this from the spring 2021. Was it spring? I think. But this was the leftover that I had. I didn't purchase this kit. I made the plaid party cardie, but I had this yarn left over, and so I thought I would make a plaid-tastic scarf too, so I kind of mixed it with some of the stuff that I have. But it's a really cute scarf. Y'all, I just don't wear scarves that often, so I can't decide if I'm just gonna try to wear this year. I love this scarf, like love it. So I think I'm really gonna try to wear it this year. If I don't, then I might end up just getting rid of it, but I mean, I love it so much. I love all the details and all the fun yarns in it. If I wear a scarf, I usually wear a cowl, even though it is so cold here, and so, you know, I could definitely use a scarf, but I don't know what it is. So I think I'm gonna try to wear it this year because I do love it so much. Stay tuned to see if I wear this winter. So next up is this Color Outside the Lines beanie. I love this beanie. It's another one that's one of my favorites to wear in the winter. I just love a double brim. Like honestly, double brims are like my favorite. This one is made from We Are Knitters, the petite wool, I believe, and this is left over from a sweater that I made, the one that I cannot find, but I was excited to have some leftover yarn for this. I do have a free pattern for this that I'll link down below. It's on my blog. I love the fur palm. This is from Addison James Knits. knits. She has like the best palm. They're so big and so fluffy and so awesome. But I love this beanie. I wear it all the time, and it's another one of my absolute favorites. This beanie is just another beanie that I made. I didn't make a pattern for this or anything like that, but this is just a beanie that I actually made for my daughter. And oh, it's a funny story because oh, there's like a leaf in it. But it's a funny story because I was trying to follow this pattern on, this is really early on in my knitting career, but I tried to follow this pattern on Pinterest, and it was a fisherman's rib, and I just didn't really understand it very well, and so I got frustrated with it. I had tried it so many times, and so instead I just made this beanie, which was similar to that, but I made one for my daughter, and then I ended up making one for myself. This is just Lion Brand Wool Ease Thick and Quick in the color Butterscotch, I believe. And then this palm, y'all, how cute is this palm? This is from Knit Collage, and I can't remember when I made this, maybe like 2019 or something like that. But yeah, so it's one that I wear quite a bit as well. I do love this beanie, and you can fold it up and wear it like this. So let me know if it's something you'd like a tutorial for, or if you just want me to write down the instructions of how I made it. But it's just a really simple beanie that I wear all the time. Well, I guess we'll keep on the beanie theme. So let's do a crochet one. Y'all, this is one that I had forgotten about, and that is why it is so good that I'm going through these. This is a beanie from Cozy Creative Crochets. She designed it. I'm sure you guys know who she is on Instagram. I used to have an Instagram. I don't have an Instagram anymore, but I love this pattern. It was inspired by an anthropology beanie, I remember, and I can't remember what it's called. I'm sorry. I will also try to make sure that I link all the patterns to these down below so that you guys can check them out if you want to. But I love this beanie. I love the colors of it. I think that I used, let's see, I used a couple. This may be a Bernat Homemaker yarn right here, I think. And then this is Schachenmeyer Boston yarn. And I love that Boston yarn. It has the best texture, but it does kind of split a little bit, and that's the only thing. So if you do not like that, then it's definitely not the yarn for you. I don't mind the splitting because I absolutely love the texture that it gives once it's all crocheted up or knitted up. But y'all, this beanie is a really cute one, and I need to wear this. Totally need to wear this. I mean, how cute is that, y'all? I need to make some more of these for sure. But it is such a cute beanie. If you guys know any of Heather's designs, she's so talented, and so sweet. I love this pattern. I really need to make some more of these. Next up, we have this Sparrow Lake beanie. This is from, oh my goodness, why did I totally slipped my mind. Hold on, let me check really quick. Yes, Knit Brooks. Oh my goodness. How did I forget that? So this is from Kelly of Knit Brooks, and y'all, it is such a great beanie. I wear this beanie a ton also, especially when just I want a super cozy, super like snuggly beanie. It is also a double brim, my favorite. And this fur palm, I mean, y'all, how this thing is giant. My friend actually gave this to me, and so I was so excited. It was something they used for some displays or something, and she just gave me all these fur palms, and these were just amazing and huge, and it's perfect for this beanie, especially because it's slouchy, so it like rests really perfectly. But I love this beanie. It's one of my favorites. I need to make another one because honestly, I really love this beanie. Next up, we have this kind of scrap yarn beanie, and I made this when I was just trying to use up some scrap yarn. I really love the colors in it. I don't love the fit of it. It's a little bit longer than I would like, and because of the shape, it's just not really one that would work as a slouchy beanie, and so I don't wear it very often, but I am so obsessed with the colors on it. I absolutely love how everything came together, and just like the gold and the turquoise. But as you can see, it just kind of like, I mean, it is cute. It is a cute beanie, but with the brim that I used is the same one I used on my cloud catcher beanie, which you'll see in just a second. And so I don't know, I do like it, but I feel like it is just a little bit too low right here and can't like slouch back. So that's the only thing. So I don't wear this one a ton, but I do love the colors. Next up with the beanies is my Unicorn Sparkle beanie. This is another free pattern that I have on my blog, and one of my first knit patterns. I think it was my second knit pattern, I think. But I was inspired originally by some of this yarn that my friend gave me. Becca is her name. She gifted me some of this Spectrum fiber with this purple and everything, and I used that, and also some like recycled yarn, that sparkle in there, and this is Lion brand Wool Ease Thick and Quick for the other part of it. It is in the color Blossom, I believe, but she gifted it to me and I was just so inspired. I really need to make another one because it is such a fun pattern to knit up. If you've never done color work before, this is like an easy way to just like dip your toe into color work. Just knitting and slip stitches. It's worked in the round, but I will link this pattern down below as well. This is also Lion brand, and I think it's mustard, but I can't remember this color, but I'll link it down below. Next, we have my cloud catcher beanie, and this is with Knit Collage yarn. This is my first knit beanie pattern, and I had just learned a new stitch and I really wanted to try it for the brim of this beanie. And I think it's the stamen stitch, I believe, which I have a tutorial for on my channel. I will link that down below. I loved the horizontal texture and just the way that it looked. It just gave a really cool look. And that's actually, this is another cloud catcher beanie, and it's so neat how like the same pattern can look so different in different yarns. This one is with Hobby Lobby yarn. I can't remember the kind of yarn, but it like stretch taffy, I believe. Is that the yarn or the color? I can't remember. But this beanie is a fun one to make too. I don't think that Knit Collage carries this yarn anymore. I think she just put it on sale and was getting rid of it. It's Bubblegum Twist in the Dreamland yarn, but I love the flowers and of course all the things inside it. That is a fun beanie for sure. And I've definitely worn that quite a bit. And I think that's it for the beanies. So let's go ahead and dive into cowls and scarves. As I mentioned, I do not wear cowls and scarves very often. I just don't know why. I need to really change that about myself, but I just don't really wear them that often because I really love them. I love it when I see them. I always want to make them. I even want to make some more patterns for them, but for some reason I just don't reach for them. You know how that is? Like, even though you appreciate things and love things, they're just things that you don't reach for. So I need to be better about that. This is my first pattern ever. It's the Fire Lily cowl. It is one of my all-time favorites, and I mentioned it in my top 5 favorite crochet projects of all time video. It works up so quickly, and I love this stitch in this cowl. It is just so full of texture and is so cozy and chunky. I've made this in a couple different things, and I do have a tutorial for this on my channel as well as a free pattern on my blog. I usually use Lion brand Wool Ease Thick and Quick for this, but I've also used We Are Knitters, the wool for this, and that makes like a little bit thicker of a cowl. But honestly, y'all, it is such a great cowl if you're wanting something that works up super quick. And then next I have the Snow Blossom cowl. This is a cowl that I made with Knit Collage yarn, and I made it for the Hook Nook blog, which I was so honored and excited to be able to have a pattern on there. So it's still on there, but it's also free on my blog if you'd like to check it out. But this is a fun one, and it uses the pyramid stitch, which is so cool. I absolutely love the pyramid stitch, and I need to use it some more. Sometimes you just forget the things that you love and you need to do it again. So that's why these videos are so good, because it reminds you of stitches you need to use and things you need to wear. It's just a win-win all around. But this is a really fun one. This is actually made in friendship bracelet yarn, which she doesn't sell anymore, but I really love it. It's just so pretty and truly does look like friendship bracelets. And then next up I have this crochet scarf. It's an infinity scarf, and y'all, I sold, when I first started my Etsy shop, which I don't have my Etsy shop anymore, but when I first started my Etsy shop, I literally made so many of these. This was the one I sold all the time, and this is before I started selling patterns or designing patterns. I made them for craft shows, and I sold them in my Etsy shop. If you guys would be interested in a tutorial, it is so easy. So if you guys would be interested in a tutorial or anything, let me know. Comment down below. This one I made without buttons. The ones I sold in my shop, I made with buttons. These really cute large wooden buttons from Hobby Lobby. This is just such a great cozy. You can wrap it 3 times or just 2 and have it, like, you know, closer up around the neck, or if you want it to be hanging down. I love how bulky and just cozy this one is. This is also with Lion brand Wool Ease Thick and Quick. I used a ton of that when I first started my Etsy shop. This is in the color Linen, I believe. And then also I have this cowl, which I used to sell lots of these as well. I guess I could also do a tutorial for this if you wanted me to, but it's another simple one. I believe mainly it uses half double crochet. I think I'll have to go back and look and see. I haven't made one in so long, but I used to sell quite a few of these too. So it's just a real simple and easy cowl, and this one is also Lion brand Wool Ease Thick and Quick in gray marble, I believe. So that, I think, is almost all of my accessories. Let's dive into the garments. Okay, We got a couple of these that are bins from Amazon. They work really well, but my only issue is that I feel like if I use these on a regular basis and just put them under my bed, I will not wear these pieces. And I want to make sure that I wear them because I love them and I made them. But y'all, I don't know if it's just me, but if it's out of sight, it is out of mind. I mean, tell me if you can agree, but that's the only thing. And so I would love to have a space where I can just stack all of my knits, where I can see them so I can just grab one and wear it whenever I want to. I try to remember to do that when they're under my bed, but honestly, y'all, I just don't. And my husband works nights, and so he sleeps during the day. If I didn't get it out the day before to wear the next day, then I just don't usually wear it because it's still under the bed. And I just don't want to have to go in there and wake him up. So that is something that I'm gonna have to figure out this year. It's a problem that I need a solution for. But let's go ahead and dive in. So I'm going to try to go through these quickly because I don't have a whole lot of time left to film. But this sweater right here, I also made with Lion Brand Wool Ease Thick and Quick. And then there's also a little bit of extra that my friend Becca gave me of her recycled yarn too. She made these balls of yarn that had like all different kind of scraps mixed in. So it was really a super fun sweater. If you're new here, we actually moved to Aspen, Colorado almost 4 years ago. And when we first moved here, we moved here on faith. We felt like this is where God wanted us to be, and so we just took the leap of faith, no job, no home, no nothing, and came out here. And for the first couple months we lived in an Airbnb on a ranch. I have a whole blog post about it if you want to check it out. I'll link it down below. But y'all, during that time it was a little stressful, as you can imagine, with no job and no home, but we lived in an Airbnb on a ranch with a wonderful, wonderful family, and I was literally just knitting to just occupy my mind. Literally, I was just like, I've got to make as many pieces as I can and use as. Thankfully, I did have my giant bin of yarn in our tiny house Airbnb. I wear it all the time. It's super easy to take care of. I wash it. I'm pretty sure I've dried it too. It's definitely one of my favorites. Some of these you've probably seen before, but this is I think it's the Kyla sweater by Happy Love Co. And y'all, I love this sweater so much. It's made with Wool and the Gang cotton, which is my favorite cotton. I absolutely love the sweater. I did change it up a little bit and did the design a little bit differently on the back than she has in the pattern, but I definitely need to make some more of these. I absolutely love it. And this cotton, y'all, I've washed this sweater, I've dried this sweater, and honestly it works out even better because I've not dried it as well, but you really kind of have to dry it to get it back to its shape. Otherwise it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So this is a definite favorite of mine. Okay, y'all, this is kind of fun. So these are some crochet pants. This is also from Cozy Creative Crochets. I will link this pattern down below as well. I did make a knitted band for the top and a knitted band for the bottom, but these are just some crochet joggers, and y'all, they're literally the softest things ever. I absolutely love how durable this, I think it's burnout velvet. And I don't know if you've ever worked with velvet yarn, but it definitely for me personally works better crocheted rather than knitted. It just, the stitches look better, they stay together better when it's crocheted, and they just make the greatest material. I just love the fabric. I mean, y'all, these are like the most comfortable, loungiest, like softest, coziest pants ever. So I love these pants. I really would like to make some more. I'd really like to make some for my daughter too, but these are a great, great pair of pants. Next up, we've got my plaid party cardigan. This is the cardigan that I bought the kit for in the spring of or maybe it was fall of 2020. Maybe it was fall of 2020. But y'all, I was so excited to make this sweater. Look at this plaid texture. I mean, I absolutely love this texture so much. This is one of my favorite pieces that I've ever made. I just absolutely love the colors of it. I love the texture of all of the details in it. I love it so, so much. So this is definitely one of my favorites that I've ever made. I need to do a video where I have my top 5 knit favorite things that I've ever made. I haven't done that video yet, but I will for sure. I was just so excited to be able to create this piece. It was such a fun piece. This is also in my favorites video. I think it's a bonus of my favorite crochet projects of all time. This is just a design I made myself. It's the La Vie Boheme cardigan, and I love this cardigan so much. It's also made with Knit Collage and We Are Knitters, and this was like a major Christmas splurge for me several years ago. I bought the yarn, I had no idea what I was going to do with it, and then I just whipped up this. The spike stitch is one of my all-time favorite crochet stitches, so I was excited to do that in here. I really want to make a pattern for this, and I know you guys are like, are you ever gonna make a pattern for this? Like, seriously. But I really do want to. I need to make it perfect for y'all before I can release something like that. I sort of think that I want to make a cropped version for the pattern. I don't know. You'll have to tell me what you think. So this, I just used scraps for the back because y'all was not about to buy any more yarn. I'd already splurged majorly on this yarn, and so I just thought that I would make a scrappy back, which I was very excited about, and I love the way it turned out. This is definitely a favorite of mine because it holds such a special place in my heart, and I worked really hard on the design. And at this point, when I made this, I had not designed many sweaters, and so I was very excited to have completed this one. And then the last of this bin is my Amazing Technicolor Dream sweater, I think is the name of it. And I just think it's so fun. I used scrap yarn for this as well, just different things I had. And I think, yes, I started this one as well at the cabin when I was trying to just knit for my sanity. This is a super cool pattern by West Knits, and I absolutely love it. I did make a few modifications around, I think I did some different things with the collar, and I do have a blog post and a video about this sweater, so I'll link those down below. I really love the fluffy sleeves, and I thought that was a fun detail. This was left over from my Llama Love pillow. It's from Hobby Lobby, but it's got all sorts of different yarns in it. Got some knit collage, it's got some We Are Knitters, some other yarn that my friend Becca gave me, some that I got from her, some Lion Brand jeans yarn. It just has literally like any kind of yarn you can imagine. This is a really fun project, for sure. Y'all, we've reached the last bin, and it's not even a full bin, but it's got a couple pieces in it, or I think 3 pieces in it. So this one you guys have probably seen, or if you haven't, I do have a video all about this, but this was my, I can't even remember when these knit-alongs were, but this is also a knit collage knit-along. Their first make-along where they had crochet, which was so fun. So it's a combination of crochet and knitting, and I've got a video all about it if you want to check it out. But this is the Corinne cardi, and I absolutely love, love, love this cardigan. I wear it all the time. This one is the Candy Cane cardigan by Leaves Fanceuse, and I really love the sweater. I need to make another one of these, but it's a Tunisian crochet sweater. It's my first Tunisian crochet project, and after that I was obsessed with Tunisian crochet. So if you have not tried it and have wanted to, y'all try it because it is easy. I promise you, you will be so surprised at how easy it is. I think I said in one of my videos that is like, I feel like easier than even just regular crochet, or at least some of the stitches are, the simple stitch. I do have a tutorial for the simple stitch, and also I have a runner pattern for Tunisian crochet, but this sweater was such a fun project. I used Hobby Lobby, I think Must Be Merino, which I love the drape of it and how soft it is. The only thing I have to say about it is that it does fuzz up a lot. That's the only thing I would say as a negative for this yarn. I really do like this yarn, and I love the drape of it. It is truly a beautiful drape and very, very soft. I do have a video and a blog post for it. It was one of my very first YouTube videos, like it might have been my 5th or something YouTube video. This was definitely a fun project. And here is my first, I think, well, I made a crochet sweater for my daughter first. And then I think this is the first crochet sweater I ever made for myself. I'm sure you guys have seen this 100 times if you have been following my channel. I wear it in a lot of my videos, and it is the Homebody sweater by Meg Made with Love. A lot of y'all have probably made this sweater or heard of this sweater because Megan did an amazing job on this. I did make a short sleeve version that I didn't plan on making it short sleeve, but it just kind of worked out that way, and I added some extra details in. I haven't shown it yet. I think I wore it one time in my yarn organization video, but I have not done a video about it. I need to do that. I love this sweater so much. I wear it all the time. It is such a great sweater. I got the yarn from Etsy. It is a DK, and it is the color Spark, I believe, and it is Ridiculous Yarns. That's it. It's Ridiculous Yarns. Just the cutest colorway. I loved kind of the confetti, like cupcake look of it, but y'all, this sweater I wear literally all the time, and it is certainly one of my favorites. Well, y'all, that pretty much wraps up my fall and winter makes. Like I said, I do have, well, there is one sweater, the Marfa sweater by We Are Knitters, that I cannot find where it is right now. I needed to wash it. Oh, and also my Express Yourself sweater. That's a recent one that I've made too. That's also something I need to wash. I'm so bad about hand washing this stuff, y'all. I've got to be better about it. I didn't even wear like 2 or 3 of my sweaters this summer because I did not hand wash them. So that concludes this video where I share all my fall and winter makes, or most of my fall and winter makes. Thank you again, Marquita, for requesting it. I really had fun going through all of these knits and finding things that I needed to wear. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to join me for all the fun crochet and knit things. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!